What's up, my piano friends? Zach Evans here, and today I'm going to teach you an absolutely mesmerizing right hand pattern that's actually surprisingly simple to learn even for a beginner. So first I'm going to teach you the so easy a kindergartner could do it version, and it actually sounds really good even like that. But then we're going to go over some variations to make it sound even cooler step by step. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to show you a real cool trick where you can instantly multiply this one pattern to 4 different patterns with 0 extra practice on your part. All right, I'm ready to go. Let's get started. All right, so first I'm going to demo this pattern on the chord progression C major, G major, A minor, and F major. Now, if you don't know anything about chords, don't worry about it. We'll break it down step by step. And just so you know, we're also going to go over how to switch this up with other chord progressions. That way you can learn any song, even if it uses different chords. All right, so first we're going to start off in C position. So just put your 2 thumbs on C. If you don't know what C is, it's a note right below the 2 black notes. And then your other fingers will just line up on the corresponding white notes next door. And your hands for the beginner version will never leave these notes. So you don't have to worry about shifting around. You don't have to worry about moving your thumb down or your fingers up for the beginner part of this lesson. So all we're going to do is our right hand is simply going to alternate between G and E. And it's just going to alternate these 2 notes over and over and over. And your left hand is simply going to play C, G, A minor, and then D. So the full thing, it's going to sound like this. And then we move down to G with our left hand. And then our left hand is going to move up to A. And then down to F. So you'll notice your right hand alternates 4 times. So it goes 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, and then your left hand switches obviously on beat number 4. All right, now that's actually, once you get that sped up, it already sounds cool. So this is what it would sound like once you speed it up. Now guess what? There's already songs on the radio that use this exact pattern. And they're so popular and famous that they're on the radio. But guess what? This is step 1. Now before we go on to step 2, where we're going to make it a little bit more challenging but sound a lot cooler, I'm going to show you a little trick to make this come to life. We're going to use the exact same notes, but we're going to use a little bit of dynamics and tempo variation to make it come to life. So what I want you to do is at the start, I want you to start off slow and soft. So slow and soft. And by the middle, you want to build up to loud and fast. And then you build back down to slow and soft. Now, if you know any kind of storytelling cycle or what they use for movies and stuff like that, it's the same. They always have an arc, right? And that's what brings this piano pattern to life. So start off slow and soft, then move to fast and loud, then slow and soft again. So it would sound something like this. And I'm gonna exaggerate it for this first time. So slow and soft, to fast and loud, to slow and soft. Now I exaggerated it a little bit. In reality, it would sound more like this, a little more subtle, kind of like this. But see how playing it like this is a lot better than just doing and just sounding kind of like a robot. That's what really makes this pattern mesmerizing. It really what draws the audience in. All right, so now on to step 1. Now what I want you to do is try to learn that part. And what I want you to do is go down to the comments and just let me know how long did that take you to learn, right? Did it take you an hour? Did it take you a day? Did it take you a week? Just let me know in the comments. That way other people can see, hey, how long is this taking other people to learn? Maybe I can learn it in a similar amount of time. All right, now we're gonna make it a little bit harder, just step by step, incrementally harder to make it sound even a little cooler. So we're gonna keep our left hand the same, and our right hand's just gonna do some different notes, and by the end of it, here's what it's gonna sound like. So it's gonna sound like that, and to do this, we're gonna use a cheat sheet called the Close Chords cheat sheet. That's gonna help us out a lot because look, I could just show you the exact notes I'm playing right now, but if I don't show you how I figured out which notes to play, then if you have a song with different chords, you're not gonna be able to figure it out. So I wanna show you the concept of actually how I figured all this stuff out so you can do the same thing no matter what song you're playing. So what I want you to do right now is I want you, on the screen there's gonna be a link, there's also gonna be a link in the description. Click that link, it's gonna bring you to this page. I want you to enter your first name and your email, and it's gonna, and get my bonuses, and this is where the resources and the bonuses and the extra stuff for this lesson are. Now if you look at it, there's 3 cheat sheets: close chords, major chords, minor chords. And then there's other helpful lessons. So if you have trouble getting hands together coordination, you can click on this one. There's a couple other lessons to help you out. But right now, all I want you to do is click this Close Chords Ultimate Cheat Sheet, and it's gonna bring you to this. Now this looks very complicated, but it's not. All this is every single chord you'll ever need to play a popular song. And it gives you the major and the minor chord, and it shows you a variation of the chord where your hand stays close together. So your hand is on the keyboard, doesn't have to move around a lot. It stays very close together to make it easier for you. All right, so all we do is we go to this close chord cheat sheet and we find the chord that we're playing, and whatever green notes are lit up, those are possible notes that we're quote unquote allowed to play for that chord. Imagine it's a rule. You can play any of these notes in any order, it's always gonna sound good. So for example, let's say we're doing the chord progression we just learned, we can go to C major. So we find C major on the close chords cheat sheet. By the way, if you'll notice, it's major, minor, and then these 2 columns go all the way down. A major, B major, C, D, E, F. Then it goes back to the top, G major, G minor, and then these 2 columns go all the way down with all the black note keys as well, so it's very organized. All right, so let's go back to our original chord progression. C major, G major, A minor, F major. So first we find C major. Here it is. So our 3 notes, possible notes, are C, E, and G. So remember, when we originally did it, we used the notes G and E. We could use these notes. It's gonna sound good. We could also use the notes E and C, or G and C. We can pick any of those combinations to do our same pattern over. So for this example, let's stick to what we just did at the beginning. So just G and E. So the beginning sounds like this. Now next we move to our G chord. So we go back to our close chords cheat sheet, we find G major up here, and we see we have the option of the notes B, D, and G. Those are our options. Now, the only thing about this B is it's gonna be a little bit harder because it's outside of our C position. Remember, our C position are these 5 notes. So to play this B, I have to move my thumb. So for now, we're not gonna move our thumb, and we're just gonna use the other 2 notes. We're gonna use G and D. So now when we play our progression, we start with our C major chord, and then we move to our G major chord, and we play these 2 notes. All right, so now we move on to our next chord, A minor. So we just go to our little close chords cheat sheet, we find A minor, and we have the notes C, E, and A as possible notes. Now, which of these are in C position? Well, here's C position, so C and E are in C position, but from G to A, we're gonna have to move our pinky. So we're gonna not play this A and instead play this E and C. So now our whole chord progression looks like this. C, G, and our new one, A minor. And our last chord is F major. So now we go back to our cheat sheet, we find F major down here. We have the choice between C, F, and A. C, F, and A. But if we look at our C position, this A, again, is going to be outside, so we're not going to play that A, we're going to do the C and the F. So now the entire thing sounds like this. C, G major, A minor, and our new one, F. So now the whole thing sounds like this. All right, now the next step is where it starts to get fun, because now you can start being a little creative. And now you can go to your cheat sheet and you can decide, hey, C position's great, I learned C position, but I want to use these notes that are outside of C position. Now the big benefit to the close chords cheat sheet is all these chords are in variations of the chord where your hand stays close by, right? So your hand is never gonna have to move way up here or way down here. All you'll have to do is maybe move 1 or 2 notes down with your thumb and 1 or 2 notes up with your pinky, but it basically stays in the same spot. So you could pick any 2 notes. So you could say C major, I'm gonna pick G and C. For G major, I'm gonna pick D and B. A minor, I'm gonna pick A and E. F major, I'm gonna pick A and F. You can pick anything that's on the close chords cheat sheet within that chord. So now maybe your chord progression sounds like this. And you can just mix it up and choose whichever 2 notes work for you. Now the important part about using the close chords cheat sheet is that, hey, look, I just showed you how to do this chord progression over a very specific chord progression, this pattern over a very specific chord progression. But what if you want to learn a song that has different chords? That's what I'm going to teach you right now. And we're actually going to learn, we're going to take the song Frozen because Let It Go in Frozen, because everybody always requests that song. So I might as well teach it right now. So all you have to do is go to google.com and type in the name of the song and chords. So you can do Frozen, Let It Go, chords. Press enter, and any popular song will have the chords already here. So we're just gonna click this one and look for one that's from ultimateguitar.com. These are my favorite, and I'm gonna show you why. Now once you click it, it's gonna go to this sheet, and you'll notice there's a strumming pattern. Don't worry about that, but if you scroll below it, here's all the chords to the song already out there for you. And the good part about this website, ultimateguitar.com, is you'll notice it's a little sloppy with all these extra chord extensions, but if you just hit simplify, it cleans it up for you, and it's very easy to read. So anytime it says a little m like this, it just means minor, and if it just has the note name, it means major. So this is E minor, and this is just C, so we just assume that means major. So this is C major, D major, A minor, and so on. And all you have to do is use the close chords cheat sheet with these chords, and you can play Frozen, Let It Go. So let me give you an example. So the first chord is E minor. We go to our close chords cheat sheet, we find E minor. Here's our available notes. We have B, E, and G. We can play any of these 2 notes. So I'm just gonna pick, let's go with these 2. So here's the beginning. Now we go to the next chord. Looks like it's a C chord. So C major, go to our cheat sheet, find C, and let's use the notes. We can use any of these 3 notes. Let's use E and C. So now it's gonna be, and let's go to our next chord. It's gonna be a D. Now we've never played this one before, but it doesn't matter. Go to the cheat sheet, we find our D, and we find we have the option of any of these 3 notes, A, D, F sharp. You know, this A is pretty far away. I'm not gonna do that one, so I'm gonna do D and F sharp. So it's gonna be E minor, C, D, and let's do the next chord. So we have A. Remember, we're gonna assume this is major because it doesn't have anything after it. So A major chord, go to our cheat sheet. Here's our options, C sharp, E, and A. I'm just gonna use E and C sharp. So now the whole thing sounds like this. All right, so now we have our whole progression for the first 4 chords for Frozen. Don't judge my singing voice because I'm not a singer, but you know, it would go like this. The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a whisper in the sea. The king of isolation. Again, I can't sing, but if you can sing or you know someone that sings, you already know how to play the chord progression for Frozen. But look, you don't have to do it with Frozen. You can do it with any popular song. Just Google the chords, go to the close chords cheat sheet, and learn it. And that's why I really wanted to make sure that I didn't just show you the notes and say, here's the notes, it's G and then E and E, G and then E. I want to make sure, okay, I want to show you how I'm figuring this out so you can figure it out and you can apply it to anything you want. All right, I hope you're still with me so far. Now we're gonna add one more variation to make it even cooler. This one is gonna take a little bit of practice. It's a little more intermediate, advanced level, but I wanted to show you where this can go to the next step. And then stick around to the end of the video. I'm also gonna show you how we can multiply even the beginner version to come up with 4 different patterns with 0 extra work on your part. All right, so first, here's the intermediate pattern. It's gonna sound like this. You probably heard this before. It's a very common pattern. It's called, some people call it rocking chords, some people call it broken chords. There's different names for it. But all we do is we take the top 2 notes and we play them, and then the bottom note and we play them. And these are the exact same chords on the close chords cheat sheet, right? So you go to the close chords, you find the 3 notes, you take the top 2, then the bottom, then top 2, bottom, and you just alternate them. That's it. And then you switch it for the next chord. G major, find the top 2 and the bottom, and you just alternate. A minor, F. And again, you can use a close chords cheat sheet, do this for any chord, and now you have a cool rocking chord progression. This is super, super common, super famous. You hear this all the time, especially in like ballads, like piano ballad type of music. All right, now on to the fun part. I'm gonna show you how you can multiply this pattern you just learned, even the beginner's simple piano version, to 4 more patterns with 0 extra practice on your part. All we're gonna do is we're gonna shift this pattern up and down the keyboard. So all you do is you take your thumbs, and remember you're in C position for the original one. Remember the original beginner's one sounds like this. And all we have to do is put our thumbs on any 2 C's on the keyboard. So we could put up, C, C, and we can do the same thing. Or we could move down, C, C. I know you can't see my hand down here, but it's on a C, and same thing. And what a lot of people do is they might start off like maybe the verse is up here and it's very like quiet. You know, it's maybe... And then maybe like the chorus comes in and it's down lower, you know? And then maybe like verse 2, they move it down even further. And maybe it's the sad verse or something, you know? I don't know. But you can mix it up during the song and you can play in different octave ranges. All right, so what I want you to do right now, if you haven't already, click the link in the video or in the description. Go over to this page, enter your name and email, click Get My Bonuses, and that's where you get the ultimate cheat sheet, the close chords cheat sheet. This is the most important one. There's also other helpful lessons, ultimate guide to chords if you want to really understand how all these chords work. And there's a couple extra lessons under there. If you have trouble getting hands-together coordination, here's another one that has a bunch of exercises for you. It's been really helpful for people. It goes all the way from a beginner to more advanced, slowly but surely. All right, hope you liked this video. It took me a ton of time to put all this stuff together for you guys. I really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell. And that's all I got for you guys. Peace out and happy practicing.